Have you ever looked into your cat's eyes and felt like there was a whole world of communication going on, but you just couldn't understand a word? You're not alone. Cats have a reputation for being mysterious, aloof, even a little bit sneaky. But the truth is they're constantly talking to us. We just need to learn their language. Imagine a world where you could understand your cat's every meow, purr, and tail twitch. Think about it. No more wondering why they're staring at you, rubbing against your legs, or suddenly deciding the curtains are the perfect scratching post. This isn't about some magical mind meld. It's about unlocking the secrets of how cats communicate. Because once you understand their language, you'll discover a whole new level of connection with your feline friend. Now you might be thinking, my cat seems happy enough. Why does it matter if I understand every little thing they do? Well, for starters, it can make life a whole lot easier for both of you. Imagine being able to tell when your cat is feeling stressed, sick, or just plain playful, just by watching their body language. That's the power of understanding cat communication. It's about building a stronger bond built on trust and empathy. No more guessing games, no more accidental misunderstandings, just clear two-way communication that deepens your relationship. Plus, let's be honest, who doesn't want to know what their cat is really thinking? So how do we crack the code of cat communication? Well, it's a little bit like learning a new language. But don't worry, it's not as hard as you might think. Cats communicate in a variety of ways, from their body language to their vocalizations, and even their scent. And each signal, from a flick of the tail to a gentle meow, carries a specific meaning. Over the next few sections, we're going to dive deep into the world of cat communication, exploring the subtle cues and signals your cat uses to talk to you. Get ready to become a fluent speaker of cat because your feline friend has a lot to say. To truly understand cats, we need to appreciate how different they are from us. We humans are social creatures thriving on verbal communication and complex social structures. We talk, we gesture, we write. Our lives are a symphony of shared expression. Cats, on the other hand, evolved from solitary hunters, their ancestors prowling the deserts and grasslands millions of years ago. Their communication style reflects this independent nature, while dogs, our other beloved companions, evolved to live in packs and cooperate with humans. Cats retained a strong sense of self-reliance. Their communication methods developed for survival, not for lengthy conversations. Imagine a small wildcat stalking its prey in the stillness of the desert. Loud barks or howls would send potential meals running for cover. Instead, this feline predator relies on stealth and subtle cues. A flick of the tail, a flattened ear, a silent stalk. These are the tools of a successful hunter, conveying information with minimal sound or obvious movement. These ancient instincts still shape how our domestic cats communicate today. Their language is a tapestry of subtle gestures, nuanced vocalizations, and even olfactory messages left through scent. Fast forward thousands of years, and those desert-honed communication skills have been adapted for a very different environment, our homes. Your house cat may not need to hunt for their dinner, but those deeply ingrained instincts remain. When your cat rubs against your leg, leaving their scent, they're not just being affectionate, they're marking their territory, making their presence known in their world. When they stare intently at a bird outside the window, their body language speaks volumes, even if they remain perfectly still. Understanding these subtle cues allows us to see the world through their eyes, appreciating the depth and complexity hidden beneath their often silent exterior. To navigate this fascinating world of feline expression, we need to understand the three primary ways cats communicate: body language, vocalizations, and scent. Each of these plays a crucial role in how cats express their needs, desires, and emotions. Think of it like this. Body language is their silent movie, conveying a wealth of information through posture, movement, and those ever-expressive tails and ears. Vocalizations, from the soft murmur of a purr to the insistent demands of a meow, add a soundtrack to their actions. Finally, scent acts as their invisible ink, leaving messages for other cats and perceptive humans to decipher. In the following chapters, we will explore each of these communication methods in detail, unlocking the secrets behind your cat's every move, sound, and even smell. Let's start with the most expressive part of a cat's anatomy, the tail. It's like a furry semaphore flag, broadcasting their emotions with every twitch and swirl. A high, upright tail is a clear sign of confidence and contentment. Imagine your cat strutting through the house, tail held high like a flagpole, maybe even with a little curl at the tip. That's one proud kitty, folks. On the other hand, a tucked tail, especially one held low between the legs, signals fear or anxiety. This is your cat's way of saying, "I'd rather be invisible right now." If you see this behavior, give your cat space and try to figure out what might be stressing them out. And then there's the classic Halloween cat tail puffed up and bushy like a bottle brush. This means business. Your cat is feeling threatened or angry and wants everyone to back off. It's their way of looking bigger and scarier to ward off potential threats. Finally, don't ignore a tail that's whipping back and forth like a metronome gone wild. This is a sure sign of agitation or excitement, and it's often a precursor to playful or not so playful swatting. While the tail might be the most obvious body language indicator, cats also communicate volumes with their whiskers. Those aren't just stylish facial accessories, you know. Whiskers are incredibly sensitive, acting like little antennas that help cats navigate their world. They can detect even the slightest changes in air currents, allowing them to judge distances, sense approaching objects, and even see in the dark. When a cat is relaxed and content, their whiskers will be held loosely at the sides of their face, almost like a neutral expression. But when they're feeling playful, curious, or focused on something, like that pesky laser pointer, their whiskers will point forward, taking in as much information as possible. On the flip side, whiskers pulled back against the face are a sign of fear, anxiety, or even pain. Think of it as their version of a grimace. If you notice your cat's whiskers suddenly retracting, it's time to assess the situation and see if something is making them uncomfortable. Remember, those whiskers are a window into your cat's emotional state, so pay attention to their subtle movements. Those independently swiveling ears aren't just for show either. Cat ears are like furry satellite dishes, picking up a range of sounds that humans can only dream of hearing. But beyond their auditory superpowers, a cat's ear position is another key indicator of their mood. When your cat is feeling relaxed and attentive, their ears will be held upright and slightly forward, ready to capture any interesting sounds. This is the ideal listening mode for those times when you're trying to have a conversation with your feline friend. Good luck with that! However, if those ears start to swivel sideways or flatten against their head, it's a sign that your cat is feeling anxious, scared, or agitated. Think of it as their way of trying to minimize their profile and appear less threatening. And if those ears are completely flattened against their head, accompanied by hissing or growling, well, that's your cue to back off slowly. Your cat is not in the mood for cuddles. Remember, those ears are like little mood rings, so pay attention to their position and you'll have a much better understanding of how your cat is feeling. We've all heard the saying, the eyes are the window to the soul. And honestly, it's especially true for cats. Those enigmatic feline eyes can, convey a wide range of emotions, from pure adoration to simmering annoyance. When your cat greets you with slow, languid blinks, it's the ultimate sign of trust and affection. It's their way of saying, "I love you, human, but I'm not going to make a big deal out of it." To return the sentiment, try giving your cat a slow blink back. It's kind of like sharing a secret handshake of love and understanding. On the other hand, wide, dilated pupils are a sign of fear, excitement, or even aggression. Imagine those classic Halloween cat eyes. That's what we're talking about. If you see this look, it's really best to give your cat some space and figure out what might be causing their heightened state. And speaking of eyes, don't forget about the power of direct eye contact. While we humans might consider it a sign of respect and engagement, staring can actually be perceived as a threat in the feline world. Cats might have a reputation for being independent creatures, but they're also masters of nonverbal communication through touch. When your cat rubs their head or body against you, they're not just being affectionate, although that's definitely part of it. They're also scent marking you with pheromones, essentially claiming you as part of their social group. Think of it as their way of saying, "You're mine now, human." And what about that adorable kneading behavior, where your cat pushes their paws in and out against soft surfaces? This is actually a throwback to their kittenhood, when they would knead their mother's belly to stimulate milk flow. As adults, kneading is a sign of contentment and relaxation, often accompanied by purring. It's like their way of saying, "Ah, this is the life." Head boops are another classic form of feline affection. When your cat gently bumps their head against you, they're inviting you to share pheromones and strengthen your bond. It's their way of saying, "I trust you enough to get up close and personal." Beyond those expressive tails, ears, and eyes, a cat's overall body posture really speaks volumes about their emotional state. When a cat arches its back, often accompanied by raised fur and a puffed-up tail, it's a clear sign of fear or aggression. They're just trying to make themselves look bigger and more intimidating to ward off potential threats. On the other hand, a relaxed cat will stand or lie with their body elongated and their muscles loose. They might even roll onto their back, exposing their vulnerable belly, the ultimate sign of trust and comfort. However, it's important to remember that a belly display is not always an invitation for a tummy rub. Some cats are very sensitive about their bellies and might interpret a rub as an attack. If you're not sure how your cat feels, it's best to err on the side of caution and admire their adorable belly from a safe distance. Pay attention to their overall posture, and you'll be able to read their mood like a book. As you can see, cats have a rich and nuanced language all their own, and their body language is just one part of the equation. By paying close attention to their tails, ears, eyes, and overall posture, you can gain a deeper understanding of their emotional state and build a stronger bond based on mutual trust and respect. Remember, each cat is an individual, and they might have their own unique quirks and communication styles. The key is to observe your feline friend, closely learn their personal vocabulary, and approach them with patience and empathy. So the next time your cat gives you a slow blink, a gentle head boop, or even a playful swat with their paw, take a moment to appreciate the subtle ways they're communicating with you. You might be surprised at what you discover. While body language may be the cornerstone of feline communication, cats aren't exactly silent creatures. They've mastered the art of vocalization, and none is more iconic than the meow. But don't be fooled by its seeming simplicity. The meow is a versatile vocal tool, capable of conveying a wide range of emotions and desires. A short, high-pitched meow is often a friendly greeting, like a feline "hello there." You might hear it when you walk in the door, signaling your cat's delight at your return. A longer, more drawn-out meow, often with a pleading tone, usually means your cat wants something. This could be anything from food or water to a little attention or even access to that forbidden room they're convinced holds endless mysteries. And let's not forget the insistent, sometimes demanding meows that seem to escalate in volume and urgency. This is your cat's way of saying, "Hey human, I'm talking to you, pay attention to my needs." Here's a fascinating tidbit. Adult cats rarely meow to each other. They reserve this vocalization almost exclusively for communication with humans. It's as if they've learned that we're not so good at picking up on their subtle body language cues, so they've developed a more direct approach to getting our attention. Think about it. Kittens meow to their mothers for food, warmth, and comfort. As they grow older, they primarily use meows to communicate with their human caretakers, who essentially take on the role of surrogate parents. It's a testament to their adaptability and their ability to learn what works best in different social situations. So the next time your cat looks you dead in the eyes and lets out a heartfelt meow, consider yourself honored. They're speaking directly to you, in a language they've honed over generations of human-feline interaction. If the meow is the Swiss Army knife of feline vocalizations, then the purr is their soothing lullaby. That rhythmic rumbling, often accompanied by gentle vibrations throughout their body, is typically associated with contentment and pleasure. A cat happily curled up on your lap, purring away as you stroke their fur. That's the epitome of feline bliss. But you know, purring isn't always a sign of pure joy. Cats also purr when they're feeling anxious, stressed, or even in pain. It's thought that the vibrations produced during purring can have a calming and even healing effect, both physically and emotionally. Think of it as their way of self-soothing during difficult times. So, while a purr is usually a positive sign, it's important to pay attention to the context. If your cat is purring excessively, especially if accompanied by other unusual behaviors like loss of appetite or lethargy, it's best to consult with your veterinarian to rule out any underlying medical conditions. Hiss! Growls, chirps, and other vocalizations. Beyond meows and purrs, cats have a whole repertoire of intriguing vocalizations, each with its own unique meaning. The hiss, for example, is a clear warning signal, like a feline back-off. It's often accompanied by flattened ears, a puffed-up tail, and constricted pupils, all indicating that your cat is feeling threatened or agitated. A growl, usually lower in pitch than a hiss, conveys a similar message, but with an added layer of seriousness. It's their way of saying, I mean business, don't mess with me. On a lighter note, cats also communicate through chirps and trills, especially when they're feeling playful or excited. You might hear these bird-like sounds during a spirited game of Chase the Laser Pointer, or when your cat is intently focused on a potential prey animal outside the window. These vocalizations are thought to be a way for cats to communicate with each other over short distances, especially mothers with their kittens. Just like human language, cat vocalizations can vary depending on the individual, their personality, and their relationship with their humans. Some cats are naturally chatty, meowing for attention at every opportunity, while others are more reserved, reserving their vocalizations for only the most pressing matters. The key is to learn your cat's unique vocal vocabulary and pay attention to the context surrounding their meows, purrs, and other sounds. Consider the time of day, their body language, and any recent events that might be influencing their mood. Are they meowing at their empty food bowl? That's a pretty clear indication they're hungry. Are they chirping excitedly at a toy mouse? They're ready to play. By observing their vocal cues and interpreting them in context, you'll gain a deeper understanding of their needs and desires. Now that you're well on your way to becoming fluent in cat, it's time to put your knowledge into practice. Responding to your cat's vocalizations, both verbal and nonverbal, is essential for building a strong and fulfilling relationship. When your cat meows for attention, try engaging them in play, offering them a scratch behind the ears, or simply talking to them in a soothing voice. Even a few minutes of dedicated interaction can go a long way in strengthening your bond and showing your cat that you care. If your cat is meowing excessively or exhibiting other unusual behaviors, don't ignore them. It could be a sign of stress, anxiety, or even an underlying medical condition. Consult with your veterinarian to rule out any potential problems and ensure your feline friend is happy and healthy. We humans are visual creatures. We rely heavily on what we see to understand the world around us. Cats, however, have a secret weapon, an entire communication channel we barely even register scent. Imagine for a moment a world painted in smells, where invisible messages linger in the air, marking territories, signaling moods, even whispering invitations. That's how potent the world of scent is to your feline friend. While we might reach for a spritz of perfume or cologne, cats carry their own unique olfactory signature, a complex blend of pheromones secreted from glands on their cheeks, paws, and flanks. These pheromones are like invisible name tags, conveying information about the cat's identity, health, and even reproductive status to other felines. Ever wondered why your cat insists on rubbing their face on every corner of your furniture? They're not just being affectionate, although we appreciate the sentiment. They're actually engaging in a very important feline behavior, scent marking. Those little rubs and head bunts are their way of depositing pheromones, essentially creating scent posts that announce their presence to other cats and any other creatures with a nose. It's their way of saying, "This is my turf. You've been warned." But scent marking isn't just about territoriality. It's also a way for cats to create a sense of familiarity and security in their environment. Think about it. Your home is filled with a myriad of scents, from cleaning products to cooking smells to the lingering aroma of your morning coffee. Cats use scent for much more than just marking territory. It's actually a vital part of their social interactions, even with their beloved humans. That head boop your cat gives you? It's not just a sign of affection, it's also a way for them to mingle their scent with yours, creating a shared olfactory bond. It's their way of saying, "You're part of my family." And remember that adorable behavior of kneading their paws on soft surfaces, like your lap or a cozy blanket? It's not just a leftover reflex from their kittenhood. It's also thought to activate scent glands in their paws, releasing pheromones that create a sense of calm and security. So, the next time your cat starts kneading on your lap, don't shoo them away, unless those claws are a bit too sharp for comfort. Enjoy the moment and appreciate the subtle way they're saying, "I feel safe and content with you." While we might not be able to decipher the specific messages encoded in those feline pheromones, we can learn to recognize the situations where scent plays a key role in their communication. If you have multiple cats in your home, pay attention to how they interact with each other's scent. Do they rub against each other, exchanging friendly pheromones? Or do they avoid certain areas, signaling a potential territorial dispute? Understanding these subtle scent-based interactions can help you create a more harmonious multi-cat household. And don't forget about the power of your own scent. Cats are incredibly attuned to our individual smells, and they often find comfort in the familiar aroma of their favorite humans. So the next time you're feeling stressed or anxious, try spending some quality time with your feline friend. Their presence and their unique scent might be just the calming influence you need. Just like people, every cat is an individual, a furry masterpiece with their own unique personality, preferences, and communication style. While we've explored the basics of feline body language, vocalizations, and scent signals, it's important to remember that there's no one-size-fits-all guide to understanding your cat. Think of it like this. You wouldn't expect to become fluent in a new language just by memorizing a few phrases from a textbook, would you? It takes time, patience, and a willingness to listen and learn from a native speaker. The same goes for understanding your cat. They are the ultimate authority on their own language, and the more time you spend observing them, interacting with them, and paying attention to their subtle cues, the more fluent you'll become in their unique dialect of cat. Remember those expressive tails, those swiveling ears, those mesmerizing eyes? They're not just there for decoration. Your cat's body language is a constant stream of information, broadcasting their mood, intentions, and even their physical state. Start by becoming a student of your cat's everyday movements. Notice how their tail swishes when they're feeling playful, how their ears flatten against their head when they're anxious, how their pupils dilate when they're focused on a toy or a treat. The more you pay attention to these subtle cues, the more you'll start to see patterns emerge, revealing the unique vocabulary your cat uses to navigate their world. While cats may not be as chatty as their canine counterparts, their vocalizations are far from meaningless. Each meow, purr, chirp, and hiss carries a specific message, often nuanced by tone, volume, and context. Listen carefully to the sounds your cat makes in different situations. Does their meow sound different when they're hungry versus when they're seeking attention? Do they purr only when they're content, or do they also purr when they're feeling anxious or unwell? By paying close attention to their vocal cues and correlating them with their body language and the surrounding environment, you'll begin to decipher the subtle nuances of their vocal symphony. As you become more attuned to your cat's communication signals, it's equally important to respect their boundaries and respond in ways that build trust and strengthen your bond. Remember, cats are not small humans in furry suits. They have their own unique perspectives, preferences, and sensitivities, and what might seem like a harmless interaction to us could be perceived as intrusive or even threatening to them. Always approach your cat with respect and sensitivity, paying close attention to their body language and vocal cues. Avoid forcing interactions, especially if they're displaying signs of fear, anxiety, or aggression. Becoming fluent in cat is honestly an ongoing journey, a lifelong process of observation, interaction, and mutual understanding. It's about, learning to see the world through your cat's eyes, appreciating their unique perspectives, and responding to their needs in ways that strengthen your bond and enrich both of your lives. The rewards of this bilingual partnership are, immeasurable. Imagine a world where you can anticipate your cat's needs, decode their desires, and respond to their emotions with empathy and understanding. That's the power of speaking cat. It's a language of love, trust, and companionship, and it's a language that has the potential to truly transform your relationship with your feline friend. Learning to speak cat isn't about achieving perfect translation overnight. It's about embarking on a lifelong conversation with your feline friend, a journey of discovery that deepens your bond and enriches both of your lives. Think of it like learning any new language. It takes time, patience, and a willingness to embrace the occasional misunderstanding. There will be times when your cat stares at you with that enigmatic feline gaze, and you'll swear they're speaking a language only they understand. But don't get discouraged. Every head boop, every tail twitch, every meow is an opportunity to connect, to learn, and to strengthen the unique bond you share. As you continue on this journey of feline fluency, remember that the most valuable lessons will come from your cat themselves. Observe them closely, interact with them respectfully, and always be open to learning from their subtle cues and signals. Don't be afraid to experiment with different ways of communicating back to them, whether it's through gentle strokes, playful chirps, or simply by creating a safe and enriching environment where they feel heard and understood. The more you invest in this interspecies dialogue, the more you'll discover about the amazing creatures we call cats. You'll unlock a world of hidden depths, complex emotions, and unwavering loyalty that will forever change the way you view your feline friend. The rewards of understanding your cat are endless. Imagine a world where those mysterious meows at 3 a.m. transform into clear requests, where a flick of the tail speaks volumes about their mood, and where a gentle head bump becomes a heartfelt expression of love and trust. This is the magic of speaking cat. It's about building a relationship based on mutual understanding, respect, and a deep appreciation for the unique ways our feline companions communicate. When you learn to decode their subtle signals, you'll discover a whole new level of joy and fulfillment in your relationship. You'll be able to anticipate their needs, respond to their emotions, and provide them with the care and enrichment they crave. So go forth and embrace the adventure of speaking cat. Open your heart to their subtle signals, listen with your eyes, and let their purrs be your guide. The world of feline communication is a fascinating and rewarding one, and with a little patience and a lot of love, you'll be amazed at the depth and complexity of the language your cat speaks. Remember, every interaction is an opportunity to connect, to learn, and to deepen the bond you share with your extraordinary feline friend. Happy translating!